You are about to enter the Red and Rev Sports Show experience. Get ready for some real sports talk from some real sports fans who were real sports athletes who have sports knowledge.
What's up? What's up, y'all? Welcome to episode 382, Red and Rev Show. That's right, y'all. We back at it again, another Saturday morning. Well, what's going on this Saturday? NBA Finals winding down. We finally down to one game for all the marbles. That's right. Our favorite two words in sports, Game 7. What else going on? You got trades, man. You got Desmond Bain being traded. Rafael Devils being traded. We got LeBron criticizing ring culture. We got Lakers getting some new ownership. We got brawls going around sports. We got all of it. It's just been a physical week of sports. It's been a pretty wild week. So we ain't gonna waste any more time. 382. let's do the do. Let's talk about it.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Red and Rev Sports Show featuring Coach. Red and Coach are coming to you live from the ATL Show. As Rev is coming to you live from the East Coast, Coatesville, Pennsylvania, we come to give you real sports talk because we are real sports fans who are real sports athletes who have what, gentlemen? Real
Sports
knowledge. So hang out with your boys,
write that down for y'all to remember.
Rev and Coach for episode 382 of the Red and Rev Sports Show. And as is our sports custom, we'll turn our numbers attention to our numerologist, Coach Patrick Thomas, to give us something for someone dealing with those three digits, 3, 8, and 2. What you got for us, Coach?
Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Welcome on this beautiful Saturday. Well, my 382 is gonna be it ain't gonna be a curveball. It's some a person that not with a favorite or used to be a favorite I don't like, but anyway, number 82. He was a great athlete when he played football with the Browns back in the days. One of the best tight ends in the NFL, Hall of Famer. He went to the Pro Bowl 3 times. But what I always know him for is for off the field when he became a general manager and he used his business savvy and common sense to make the Ravens one of the better teams in the NFL. And they valued his experience and thoughts big time. Of course, number 82 for us, 382, is going to be Ozzie Newsome, the Wizard of Oz, from the Baltimore Ravens. Number 382, 3-time Pro Bowler, Ozzie Newsome.
The tight end.
Yes, sir.
The VP said, spit it out, Coach. Take your time, Ozzie Newsome. No doubt about it.
This morning.
No doubt about it. All right. Well, that's what's up. Thank you for the Baltimore Raven reference. That was very big of you, knowing that's your rival in your team's division. So we appreciate you showing a team in your division some love.
Can't go wrong with Ozzie. Ozzie was a genius.
No doubt about it. Great general manager. No doubt about it. He was the one that basically defied the odds when it came to Lamar Jackson, because, when Lamar Jackson first came into the league, there were those who were trying to pin him as not being a quarterback.
Yep.
But he stayed resolute in his mindset that Lamar Jackson was a quarterback, and as they say, the rest is history. All right, with that being said, we want to welcome Revenite Nation, who helps make this show what it is. So we want to welcome them. There are a few comments. Sister Sylvia Harris, good morning to you. The VP is in the building, ready to slam down the hammer to begin a marvelous episode of the Red and Rev Sports Show. Revenite Nation, rise up, let's go. We appreciate you, VP. He also says Revenite Nation votes to allow Coach to use a stealer for numerology once a quarter. Well, y'all have the vote. Get back the results. Give us the results at your earliest convenience. All right? All right, let's get into it. Before we get into it, please like and share. Who knows, your share might lead somebody else to Revenite Nation and be a contributor to the Red and Rev Sports Show. And as I say to my church all the time, I did not have you to do something that I am not willing to do myself. So I'm in the process of getting my share ministry on as well. So please like and share if you don't mind. That would be greatly appreciated. With that being said, let's jump right into our dope, nope, and cope moments for the week. What are our best moments? What are we shaking our head about? What are we trying to figure out when we start talking about our cope moments? So with that being said, Coach, we'll start with you. What is your dope moment for this week?
Well, I don't usually like to throw politics in the mix, but my dope moment this week is for the Los Angeles Dodgers, who committed over $1 million to aid families affected by those so-called ICE raids that are trying to go on in California and telling the ICE authorities who arrived at the stadium, this here is private property. Y'all can't come up in here with all that. So y'all need to turn around, go find another spot, or wherever you gonna go, but not here, because our fans here to watch the game. We ain't here to do no arrests in our stadium, basically what they were saying. So big up to the Dodgers for telling those ICE agents, not on our watch.
Oh, yeah. Red, what are you doping
on? My dope moment goes to Cal Riley for the Seattle Mariners. Made some major league history last night by being the first catcher to hit 29, close to 30 home runs before the All-Star break. Like I said, a lot of catchers don't really have offensive pop like that. Last one, I think I remember being a big hitter like that was maybe Mike Piazza, if I can remember the last offensive type catcher. We've had a few that were streaky hitters, but the way Cal Riley is tearing the leather off the ball, I haven't seen this since the likes of Piazza. So good job, Cal. We'll see if you can get the Seattle Mariners to the playoffs and the championship, which is what you were talking about last night. I don't know too much about that, but anyway, you are balling. Like I say, good job making major league history last night. First catcher with that many home runs for the break since Johnny Bench. So any catcher that's in the same any category with Johnny Bench got to be doing something right. So Cal Riley, dope.
All right. I'm doping on the Indiana Fever, giving the New York Liberty their first loss last Saturday as Caitlin Clark came off her injury with an epic performance. They beat the New York Liberty to give the New York Liberty their first defeat after 10 games. So big ups to the Indiana Fever and Caitlin Clark.
Excellent. Absolutely excellent.
Red, we're back at you, sir. What are you noping on?
My note moment goes to one, Justin Simmons. That's right, former Falcon safety Justin Simmons, who just can't keep his mouth shut. Had the nerve to say, I'm not returning to the Falcons because I'm trying to go to a team that's about winning or trying to win. Excuse me, Justin. Whatever feelings you have for the Falcon team last year, homeboy, you were right dab in the smack of it with your no coverage, but can't cover a wide receiver coming out the slot, can't cover a deep route. You, Mr. Justin Simmons, are the reason for the Falcons not being able to win last year. So make sure you looking yourself in the mirror and talking about yourself when you're talking about the Falcons that couldn't win last year. We are approaching a new era of defense and a new offensive era with my quarterback. You ain't part of this. So please, when you point the fingers at my Falcons, remember you got 4 more pointing back at yourself, homeboy. So point the finger at yourself, Mr. Simmons, for your non-plays. I swear you didn't make a play after you intercepted Patrick Mahomes in week 3. So please, make sure you point the finger at yourself when you're talking about what the Falcons didn't achieve last year. Okay, buddy? Got it? Good riddance, Mr. Simmons. Bye.
You have got to be kidding.
All right. I'm going to nope on the Arkansas Razorbacks college baseball team.
Oh, God.
Literally, gift wrapped it a championship berth to the LSU Tigers. They had a chance to have a game-winning or they had a chance to do a game-winning double play to win the game. They had 1 out on defense, first and second. The ball is hit sharply to the shortstop. Instead of trying to turn the double play, he gets the force out at third base. Then to end the game, the outfielder had a chance to cleanly field the ball, but his feet come up from up under him, and he winds up not catching the ball, and LSU goes on to tie the game, and then they mess around and win the game in the same inning. So Arkansas Razorbacks, I got to give you my note moment, and I'm sure the outfielder and the shortstop from Arkansas, y'all got a lot of new fans in Baton Rouge. I can guarantee you that.
I ain't trying to laugh. I'm stop.
Lord have mercy. All right, Coach, what are you noping on, sir?
My note moment goes to the Indiana Fever and the Connecticut Sun. I know y'all got a rivalry going, and I know y'all don't like each other. It's simple as that. But some of that stuff y'all were doing, starting to do, could get somebody seriously hurt and out for the league. Like that thing with Sophie Cunningham, as she mugged old girl going to the basket. I mean, she wrapped around her neck and pulled her down. That's kind of Bush League. I mean, you're going to foul somebody, but don't almost intentionally injure somebody and then try to disguise it as a foul. Then get mad when they retaliate. That it started to get it was chippy already, and then it started to get Bush League. After that, first started with that Ric Flair thumb to the eye of Caitlin Clark. But after that, it just started getting out of hand. Refs, y'all should have came to us to try to stop that, because that could have got somebody injured. But I'm going to give my note moment to both of them for lucky nobody got hurt, but their potential was about to get really, really ugly.
Hey, Red, now I see why they didn't make the list of topics today, because Coach was saving it for his note moment. Because I was like, wasn't that supposed to be one of the topics? And I'm scrolling down while he's talking, and I guess Coach conveniently forgot to put that as one of the topics.
Oh, dog, you got me.
It's not in there?
It was? Oh.
Yeah, it was in Red's list of topics.
No, what? No, that was the brawl in the Padres and the Dodgers.
And it said Fever Sun too.
No, I had both of them.
Oh, you're right, Shoulder. My bad, my mistake.
I know my reader skills haven't diminished that badly.
Mine have.
All right, Coach. All right, Coach.
I saw Dodgers and Padres.
All right, yeah. All right, let's move on. It's on me. What am I coping with? I'm coping with the fact that the Braves general manager doesn't really know what side of the fence he's on when it comes to what the team will do once the trade deadline comes here. He says emphatically in one breath, we're trying to compete. We're going to not be sellers. But then he goes on to say later on in the interview, well, if we get close and we see we're not in the picture, then we're going to be sellers. Make up your mind. How about this? Don't say anything. Don't say if you're buyers or sellers. How about saying we'll cross that bridge once we come to it? All right? Because, I mean, everything that he said was just kind of contradictory. We should be playing better, but we got a great team. You know, we should be playing better, but we got a great manager. I mean, if we're not playing better, whose fault is it? Is it the manager's fault? Is it the player's fault? AA, I need you to stop being double-minded. And as someone would say, take a stance and stand on it so that our team can have some clear direction on what it's trying to do this season. Once again, we already exposed the Braves last week on last week's show. We know that this is an economic dump this year. You all don't want to be in the luxury tax for the third straight year, so you all are cutting corners. Keep it straight with us, as Red keeps saying. If you're under financial constraints, say it with your chest out and stop trying to play us like we're fools. All right? Goodness gracious. Coach, what are you coping with?
I'm coping with Angels manager Ron Washington, who is out from being the manager of the Angels for health reasons. Nobody's saying what it is, but I'm hoping that it's just something minor and that Ron, who's doing a decent job this year, can get back to coaching. I know he misses it. I know he loves it. And I'm hoping that it's something that when they say out indefinitely, that doesn't sound good, but I'm hoping it's just something up as a precaution rather than anything else, and he can get back to coaching in a couple of days. So coping with Ron Washington being out due to a health matter.
All right, Red, what are you coping with to close this out?
Well, I guess I'm gonna have to cope with something that thought I was gonna talk about earlier in the show, but thanks to Coach, I guess we ain't talking about it. So let me continue with what he was talking about earlier. We're gonna have to cope with it's a new sheriff in town, y'all. It's a new sheriff in town in the WNBA, and her name is Sophie Cunningham, the new Caitlin Clark enforcer. Yeah, Coach was right. Did you see her wrap around the little young Mabry girl and throw her to the ground and then run after she did it? Stood right there for the girl. Little black girl came and tried to defend her teammate. Sophie wasn't even worried about the sister. She wanted more than she wanted a piece of that white girl again. Come on, girl. Get up. I'm ready for yeah. It's amazing when these Euro sisters are warring with each other, how they can disregard everything around them and be focused on one person, the one they going at. That's what I'm talking about, Sophie. Sophie didn't pay no attention to the black girl trying to take up for her teammate. She went right after that white girl when she got up again. Like I say, they say black on black crime is tough. I'm sorry. White girl crime on white girl crime, to me, is the toughest in this country, man. These white girls are battling each other. All I got to say is get out the way and stay out the way so you won't be no collateral damage. Because when they are fighting, boy, they are really fighting, as you can see from Sophie Cunningham and the girl the night. Like I say, Sophie Cunningham completely disregarded any sisters trying to get in her way. Get out of here. I am focused on this girl, and I'm going after her, and nobody is going to stop me. That's what I'm talking about, Sophie. We got a new sheriff in town, and it's Caitlin Clark's enforcer, Sophie Cunningham. Cope with that, WNBA. Let's go, baby.
All right. All right. Let's see what Reverend Knight Nation is doping, noping, and coping on today. Let's get into it. We got quite a few comments, and it seems like some folk have joined us while the show has gone on. Let's see. The president's in the building. Good morning. Just coming in from a rousing activity of wrestling. Angry Waffle House cooks that refuses to actually cook my pork chops before serving. Wow. The VP is doping on JJ Spann with the come from behind win at the U.S. Open by sinking a 64-foot putt on the 18th. Great win, young man.
JJ Fad.
Sister Harris is doping on young basketball baller Coatesville Colton Hiller. Made the high school USA team at age 14. That's 16 and under.
Wow.
At 14, and they did win the FIBA gold medal in Mexico. The president's doping on Charlie Woods, wins a three-way playoff to punch his ticket to the U.S. Junior Amateur Championship. His dad wanted 3 years, like father, like son. The VP is noping on Shedeur Sanders, bruh. Do the brand Nubian slow down. The president is doping on UGA's women's track and field, dominated as they won the outdoor national championship in UG, Oregon. Go Dogs. The president is noping on Shadummy Sanders. You're starting off on the wrong foot, and it's made of lead. 2 speeding tickets in a month, and didn't even bother to show up for the first court hearing. My. The Prime Minister, good morning, Mr. Maurice Thrower. Reverend Doctor's note, Woo Pig Suey. Yeah, Arkansas. There you go. That's their phrase, their cat call, whatever you want to call it. The president noping on the WNBA has turned into the WWE. And Stevie Wonder was amazed that Mabry wasn't ejected from that hit. All right. Maurice Thrower, what's dope? My Florida Panthers winning back-to-back Stanley Cups. That's what's up. Congratulations to your Panthers. You are truly Florida and Miami all day, every day. That's dope.
Damage the cup.
The VP said, Coach, I've been watching Sophie Cunningham for years in her time when she was at Mizzou. She's a dirty player. We've had several Gamecocks that got into it with her. Sophie picks and chooses who she does that to. I would love to see Sophie try that dirty move against Jonquel Jones. Get your popcorn. All right. The president said also the Tampa Bay Lightning won back-to-back in 2020 and 2021. Look at Reverend Knight Nation giving us our hockey segment for the week. The president is coping with the Falcons will be number one in payroll this season. Kirk Monkey's Uncle Cousins account for 14% of it. He's also coping with the fact for baseball fans such as myself, I will have to reconcile the fact that Red's hair will turn snow white before we see another first down. Jerome Case doping on the excitement of NBA Finals, doping on Cal and Cowherd flipping on Shador for likes and clicks over a speeding ticket, coping, waiting on the NFL season to start. Winston Thornton, what's going on, fellas? The chat, smash that like button. Appreciate you, Winston. And then Vincent loved the epic sound effect. And then the VP said, prayers, you're on your way to having a successful Waffle House visit. A visit to the Waffle House isn't a good one without drama.
Hey, Real.
What's up?
That sound effect remind me of one of the funniest sound. I wish you had this one. We played Osborne High School in a basketball game, and one of our players got called for his sixth foul and fouled out the game. Next thing you know, they played the theme from Dragnet. Dun, 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 dun.
Oh, okay, that's pretty dope.
He got put out the game. I was like, okay.
All right, man. Let's get into this. We got to talk some basketball. There's some NBA. There's an NBA Finals going on. And dare we say that our guest from last week was a basketball prophet? Horace on this set last week said the NBA must make this series go to 7 games. He didn't say he was trying to be a conspiratist, but he said he had to go 7. And guess what? It's going 7, ladies and gentlemen. Series is tied 3-3. The Indiana Pacers win a blowout in Game 6, where they took care of home, winning the ball game, and now we have Game 7 heading back to OKC on tomorrow night. With that being said, gentlemen, let's get into talking about this NBA Final that has not necessarily given us superstar appeal, but it has given us competitiveness. So, Red, I'm going to start with you. Red, what's your thoughts? Series tied 3-3. Any thoughts about any of the games that took place this past week? And then give us your Game 7 prediction. Who comes out victorious to get their first ring as a franchise? What you got, Red?
Well, I mean, for a minute, you thought it was a foregone conclusion that OKC was going to go ahead and wrap this up. But I see they came out completely lackadaisical after a blowout victory themselves at home in Game 5. You thought, okay, they're going to go ahead and wrap it up in Game 6. Nope. They come out and completely lay an egg. I mean, just let Indy get all the momentum back. I mean, if taking momentum away from Indy was what you were trying to do, you completely failed OKC. Now I know folks can say, well, they just wanted to win it in front of their fans, so they said they knew they had a game 7 at home. Okay, yeah, you can look at it like that, but dude, Indy was completely defeated before game 6. Halliburton, they wasn't sure about it. Oh, they weren't sure about Halliburton's health. The team was in just turmoil right now. It was a lot of questions. After game 6, this team is completely confident. They ready for game 7. And thanks to OKC pretty much laying the egg and showing up lifeless, now Indy is very confident they can go in OKC and do what they did in game 1. Win a game and win this whole thing. Rev, bottom line, it's like this series is becoming a series of turnovers. That's what it is. It's like whoever loses the turnover battle is pretty much who's losing the game. Whoever takes care of the ball the best, that's who pretty much winning the game. Whoever shoots from the perimeter the best, that's who's pretty much winning the game. So whoever takes pretty much their defensive prowess to begin the game starts out, that's who's pretty much winning the game. Whoever starts out the most aggressive is pretty much winning the game. So, I mean, it's been up and down all series long. I don't know if that's what the NBA wanted. I don't know if that was the plan. But like I say, now we've come to the pivotal game 7. Both teams should be pretty confident, especially Indiana. So, my prediction, I'm going to ride with the underdog because I've been riding with the underdog the whole series. Like I said, I started out cheering for OKC, but after game 1, I switched my pick to Indiana, and they're going to stay with Indiana. Like I said, OKC could have and should have probably ended this Thursday night. When Halliburton was down himself, the team was down themselves, there were no answers in sight, and now all that has changed. So I'm going to cheer for Indy and take that same momentum they riding after this game 6 victory, take it on the road. Hopefully a few role players step up in that game. So, I mean, it's game 7 for a championship. So every NBA player should be motivated in this game. You don't need all of them, from the TJ McConnells to the Wiggins to all of the players should be motivated. So I'm gonna ride Indy and see if they can pull this thing out. Well, yeah, we got a good game 7 ahead of us. And thank you, NBA, because these are 2 small markets that weren't really attracting much attention. But like I say, everybody wakes up for a game 7. So we got one Sunday. Here we come. Let's go, Pacers. Yes, sirs.
All right. Coach, jump in there. Well, before you jump in there, the VP said Negro Damas was right. Horace was on point. Game 6 featured all kinds of light bright. Tyrese couldn't miss. NBA, great job milking this. LOL. Jerome K said game 7 is set for Tyrese Halliburton to become a bona fide rising superstar. If he has 15 to 20 points in the first half, the game is scripted. Y'all is calling the NBA. It's a conspiracy. I say that OKC would take advantage of some home cooking and win game 7 on Sunday. So, Coach, you've heard what the Revenite pundits have said. What do you say?
I know in the past there have been things that have happened to make things seem like they are fixed or whatever, but I'm just curious. How can you pick a time during the game to fix a game? I'm lost. I ain't never seen that be that well coordinated, or a game where home cooking means anything. Home cooking didn't mean nothing when Indiana won the first game against the Oklahoma City, and then Oklahoma City beat Indiana. Okay, so theories sound cute and they make it look like something, but I just think it's gonna come down to whoever, like Red said, the turnover battle is gonna be huge in this game, and you're not gonna see Mr. Williams have a terrible game as he had. I think he's going to be the one that comes out and lights up the Indiana Pacers, because I think he is really embarrassed He didn't even show his face after Game 6 because he was embarrassed after what he did in that game. So he's going to come out with a fire in him. And Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, he looked like he was confused. 8 turnovers. When have you seen this kid make 8 turnovers in a game? Seriously. So I think Oklahoma City is going to rearrange something and come out. I don't think they went as hard at Halliburton as they could have. They may have, but he's going to be rested now. So I think his calf is going to be healing. So he'll be all right. But I just think Oklahoma City is ready to claim the throne and win their franchise. It'll be the first for Oklahoma City, but the second in the franchise history because they were Seattle. So I think Oklahoma City is going to turn it up and establish a lead. It's going to be close all the way through, but in the fourth quarter, I think Oklahoma City is going to establish themselves and finally win the game.
Coach has spoken. Let's see. The president says this series was as exciting as watching Melania Trump give a dissertation. Nuclear Phoenix Pacers for the win. The VP said, I'll give you credit for that wordplay, Jerome. I love it, bona fide. The VP said, Coach, come on now. Every NBA stadium has a bat phone. Adam Silver sends that one text message, and then next time out, the Tim Donahues of the world will do that thing. That's interesting. I'm going to say this. Having played basketball before, having been injured while playing basketball before, having been injured while playing at home before, makes me go with OKC winning Game 7. I think a lot of what we saw from Tyrese Halliburton was adrenaline. And that's what your home court should do for you. You sometimes don't think about your injuries. You play above them. But once you come down, that injury will remind you that I'm still here. And if that calf is still bothering him, it's going to be a little bit more difficult to play through it in an away game than it will a home game. So I'm going to go with OKC pulling this thing out in Game 7 because I don't think Tyrese Halliburton, if he's truly hurt, is going to be able to overcome that injury as he did in Game 6 because of playing at home and then also not wanting another team to celebrate an NBA championship on your home court. So I'm going with OKC for the victory, and SGA and the crew will be cutting the nets down. The VP said, oh, no, Sister Sylvia Harris said, one of the guys on First Take disagree with OKC's coaching. Come on, Wildcat Alexander. Yeah, I don't know who Wildcat Alexander is. Who's that? Anybody know?
Shea Gilgeous.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Oh, the Kentucky Wildcat reference. Right.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes.
Gotcha. All right. Anybody, any other closing comments in regards to this NBA Finals?
No, just may the best team win.
Yeah. I'm still on the fact that this 7-game series has made me be a believer that superstar power matters. And since we got a little extra time, because as you can see, normally we would talk about the NBA Finals for a much longer time. Because we would probably be talking about some superstar. But here's a question that I have. Would you all, you still there, Red?
No.
Is Red still there?
He's there, I think. There he is.
Okay. All right. I want to see what you all think about Magic Johnson's definition of a superstar this past week. He said A superstar is one who can sell out an opposing team's arena. That's the mark of a superstar. So basically, he gives it to fan appeal and being box office literally with tickets being paid for to watch this particular superstar. Do you believe that's a fair definition or a foul definition? Fair or foul? Magic's comment. Coach, you go first.
You know, I always love to use my word "foul," the favorite made-up word of the show, but to a degree, he's correct. But I guess he was saying in some way, no matter what time of the year it is, if they sell out the arena to come see this guy or young lady, they're a superstar. He's not talking about in the playoffs. He's talking about at any time. It's the 10th game of the year, and they just getting started, and there's a sellout. They come to see this person play. To that degree, he's correct. So I would say it's kind of Pharrell, but it's fair and foul because he has a point. But then again, some teams sell out no matter what. So, it could go either way. But he has a point, a very good point.
Ray, what you saying about your point guard? I don't know if Red is there. He's practicing for the Mannequin Challenge gold medal. Are you there? Red? All right. Obviously, we're having some technical difficulties with Red. Let me see if Reverend Knight Nation
Challenge.
Reverend Knight Nation bid on this. Let's see. Are there? Let's see. Rev, why did you say if he's truly hurt? I'm just saying. If he's truly hurt, we don't know. All right, let's see. Red, I'll bring Red back in just a second. Let me go through the comments. So having said that, LBJ will win the championship next year for his last hurrah. Adjust tinfoil hat. Sister Harris said Magic is right. Maurice Thor said that's a fair definition. He should know. He speaks from experience. I agree. Halliburton is not drawing the crowds to come in off the streets in Oklahoma City. There's nothing else to do there. So they're showing up always due to boredom. Laugh out loud. The president said, Coach, ain't nobody coming to see Otis or Westbrook. Jerome K said Magic is
president.
Because everyone wants to see the superstar, love or hates them. The VP said the ghost of Red Rose is making an appearance. All right, Red. Let's see. Is he ready? You there, sir?
Yeah, can y'all hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
All right, sorry, y'all. I had to set the laptop down and get back on the phone. All right, now what we talking about?
Hold on for a second. Your sound kind of distorted a little bit.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. It's kind of distorted.
All right, let me get off this headset. Yeah, let me get off this headset. Yeah. All right, y'all just work with me for.
All right, while Red is working that out, the VP said SGA is a mere footnote when he comes to Indianapolis. There's nothing there but cornfields, roundabouts, and non-melanated folk. Hey, it's Indiana. They're showing up to watch midgets play basketball. Oops, my bad, little people. We thought ICE came to raid Red's compound. President said Red is in the UPS calls.
Here you go. See, there they go.
Boy, you can't mess up around Reverend Knight Nation. They'll let you have it.
Oh, Lord.
Well, here it is. I don't know. Okay, I think Red is coming in because I wanted to say my statement last. the president said, VP, the correct term is vertically challenged. Yes.
Vertically.
That's the politically correct. All right, Red, you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready. All right, what we talking about?
We're talking about Magic's definition of superstar. He defines a superstar one who can sell out an opposing team's arena. Is that a fair or foul definition of what a superstar is?
He's absolutely right. I mean, because we know the superstar is gonna bring the home crowd in. But yeah, when you take your act on the road, like the LeBrons, the Steph Currys, the Lakers, Kobe's, the Shaqs, Magics, let's see, the Knicks back in the day. Like I say, any team that sells out at home and on the road, yeah, you definitely got a superstar on your team. So Magic was 100% right in that assessment because, like I say, if you calling yourself a superstar, like certain people call themselves superstars, but we know when they come to town, the crowd ain't feeling them. And then when certain people come to town, the crowd is feeling them, because you open up State Farm for one person and you keep everybody else at the airport. That means whoever you're opening up State Farm for is a superstar. You understand? That they travel on the road and at home. So Caitlin Clark, superstar. Other WNBA players, stars. Shaq, Steph Curry, Magic, Kobe, all the guys that get the fans out, like when State Farm's selling out, they ain't selling out because of the Hawks. They selling out because a certain person is in town, like LeBron or Kobe or Steph Curry or Magic back in the day or Michael Jordan back in the day. Any of the big names, if they come to town, it's gonna be box office. When Beyonce come to town, when MJ was back in his prime, all these great music stars, the superstars when they come to town. Cause Rev, Coach, when Beyonce is in town, traffic's gonna be blocked. You ain't gonna be able to drive down on Northside Drive where she performing at the Benz. Like I say, just stay out that side of town because it's gonna be packed. Same with Michael Jackson back in the day, men falling out in the audience crying, folks tearing up before he even get on the stage. Before he sing one tune, you had folks faint. Superstar. They are superstars and they are regular stars, okay? So Magic, on point with that one. Not surprised a Laker made that statement.
All right, let me go down these comments, then I'm gonna pose a question for you all. And Red, your audio is strong. We just can't see your mouth moving now. But as long as we got your audio, that's all that matters.
Okay.
We'll work with that. They've been cracking on you a little bit, Red, while you were going. Red forgot to turn his time card. He's reconciling his hours from the week. The president said, you're at the UPS call center.
Go ahead. Let me hear it. Let me get all the jokes in. I'm surprised Coach ain't getting on me too, because I be getting on here with his signal be messing up. So I know it's my turn to get it. So let me have it. Come on, everybody. Give it to me.
Going back to the short references, the VP says to the president, the VP's approved term is half pint, a school days reference. All right. VP said back on topic, MJ could sell out Madison Square Garden more than the Knicks could back in the day. VP said great assessment, Red. Maurice Thor said big facts, Red. Trey DeBarge may sell out MSG because the New Yorkers mistaken there was a concert with his unlikely brothers. Sister Sylvia Harris said not only will arenas be sold out, ticket prices will be through the roof. All right.
Right.
Now here, where Rev is going to try to throw you all a curveball. I need to know from you all. Is superstar synonymous with Hall of Famer? Is superstar, using Magic's definition, synonymous with Hall of Famer? Yes or no? And then I'll put some more meat to what bone I'm trying to pick.
Uh,
Ooh. Rev, I'm
I'm
going
gonna
to say, go ahead, Red.
okay. I'm gonna say yes, but it has to be done over a period of time. It can't, like I say, you just can't do it 1 year. You have to like say like you have to be that guy for a few years. You got to sell out numerous years. You just can't be a one-hit wonder. So yes, but you got to add some facts with it though. You just can't say yes and don't give you no commentary behind it. Is what I'm saying.
Oh.
All right, Coach. Try that question. Is superstar using Magic's definition synonymous with Hall of Fame?
I got to use your favorite word that you made up way back in there. I got to use Pharrell on this one. Because there's some guys in the Hall of Fame that were not superstar. They were not, like Stephen A's favorite word, that were not box office. Great players, but everybody didn't come file into the arena on the opposing side to come see them play. It was a bunch of them. It was a few of them out there that, come out there and put on a great show and play well, but that wasn't who they came to see. And they made the Hall of Fame, but they were not box office. They were good, but nobody come to see them play.
Let's say, actually, they were great.
Yeah.
All right, so Sister Era says there are guys in the Hall of Fame who are not superstars.
Exactly.
Yes,
but all superstars are gonna make it though. I don't think there's any superstar who not gonna go in the Hall of Fame. Is what I'm saying.
So,
even though
that's where. All right, let me read Jerome's comment, then I'll move on. Superstar synonymous with Hall of Famer because I don't know one legit superstar who didn't taint their career, who didn't make it into the Hall of Fame.
Right. Yeah.
So I'm gonna say if we use Magic's framework for superstar, then it's foul. Because I could give you two superstars or two Hall of Famers that would not be considered superstars using Magic's framework. And one of them is in the top 10 players of all time. That's Tim Duncan. Tim Duncan wasn't selling out nobody's arena.
Nope.
Are we going to say Tim Duncan wasn't no superstar? He's arguably the best power forward to ever play the game.
He was what we call a boring superstar. Okay, he definitely was a star now, but he was what we call a boring star because like I think that's what Coach was describing. Somebody who they're gonna bring it every night. They were good, but they just ain't that charismatic. Like I say, Coach, what did you say? They were good. They bought it every night. They maybe weren't talking as much or selling out the arenas as much. Yeah, because you ain't selling out. I don't think it's gonna be lines outside the building because the Spurs in town. You may, unless you just diehard Hawks fans, but Tim Duncan was a superstar based on his overall play and his overall play as a whole put together. Because because dude was a no. Hey, this is a tough question.
The trajectory of the San Antonio Spurs.
Yeah. I mean, like I say, he was everything to San Antonio.
They won anything without Tim Duncan.
Right. He was their superstar. He may not have been NBA's biggest superstar. He wasn't put like this. He wasn't the guy that the NBA is gonna build around. Like, okay, the NBA's most marketable guy. No, he wasn't nowhere close now. I can't even remember too many commercials he did, except for that commercial with David Robinson when he was doing the shaving cream. Talking about did you bring this into my home? Something. But
all right, so are we on this show deducing superstar to off-court appeal more so than on-court appeal?
I think, okay, superstar to me, Rev, you gotta have both of it to me. You gotta have that personality and you got to be able to jive with your fans and have the respect of other fans too, and have a charismatic personality and be that dog on the court. So to me, that's why they call you a superstar, because you have it all. You have you're a great player, you got a great personality, and you bring in great numbers. You see what I'm saying? So that's 3 things you do right. You bring in some money. You're a likable person. We like listening to you. We like watching you play. And when we watch you play, you actually give us something to watch. So 3 things. Yeah. Okay. Let's put it down to 3 things: great player, great personality, bring in great numbers.
So you can be a Hall of Famer without being a superstar.
Yes, you can be a Hall of Famer without being super, because like you say, Tim Duncan don't bring in great numbers. He don't have the greatest personality, but he was a great player.
And then we could add Chris Bosh in that. We could add John Stockton, because John Stockton ain't selling out nobody's arena.
I don't know about Chris Bosh now. I'm with you on Stockton. I don't know about Bosh.
Chris Bosh is the Hall of Famer. Yeah.
Wow.
He went to the Hall of Fame.
Thank you. That's I don't know which one I'm gonna get him in there. Okay, I guess great player. Yeah, because personality, no. Numbers, no. He was a good player. He was just a good player to me. I don't agree with him making the Hall of Fame.
All right, so let's see what there's quite a few comments from
I'm sure they are.
The VP says Sean Kemp, for example, was box office with his high-flying antics, but not in the Hall of Fame. The president said, I was about to say great players in the Hall of Fame, but not superstars. Charles Barkley, for example. Come on, man. Charles Barkley was a superstar. Stop it. Stop it, Mr. President. You might get impeached for that statement. You might get impeached for that statement.
He got all 3. And he brought in great numbers for TNT. Great personality, and a good player.
Because he's a superstar. Come on, Mr. President. That's the worst take you made during your presidency. On the Reddit Red Sports Show.
Yeah,
Come
you
on,
sliding on that one.
Yeah, Mr. President. Charles Barkley is a superstar. There was a point where it was Michael Jordan and Charles Barkley.
Right.
Charles Barkley was second in line.
Yeah. Come on,
especially personality-wise. Now, personality-wise, he might be number 1.
He got a much bigger personality than Jordan. Jordan would have never been able to do on TNT what Barkley is doing.
Right. It's people questioning Jordan being on NBC next year.
Yeah, come on, Mr.
And
President.
I'm one of them.
Come on. You got to redeem yourself on that one. Dante says superstar has Hall of Fame trajectory, but that doesn't mean they'll get there. And there are some Hall of Famers that weren't superstars. So I guess we're going back to you still got to be box office. All right, what's up, Antonio? Glad to have you, sir.
What up, Tony?
Jerome K said, but Red, your response is not Magic Johnson's thesis. His thesis is that to be a superstar, you sell out arenas. Tim Duncan is a star, but he's not a superstar. He's a Hall of Famer, but nobody wanted to be Tim Duncan at the run and shoot.
Yeah, I agree. I agree, Jerome. I superstar. Yeah, Tim Duncan, not a superstar. Great player, star player, but he ain't a superstar up on the levels of Kobe, Magic, Jordan, Bron, Steph Curry. Yeah, but he's a great player, so that made it up for it.
Sister Harris says superstars, as Red said, are usually very charismatic, which adds to their stardom. The president said Tim Duncan's play, while effective, was very fundamental and pedestrian, pretty much boring. No one is going to say, I got to see Tim Duncan. Sister Harris said superstars on and off the court.
Yeah.
Oh, he said, I meant Rev. Okay, not Red.
Okay.
Tim Duncan was a quiet superstar, says Maurice Thor, the prime minister, who let his leadership and work ethic speak for him, and I blame the NBA for not marketing that.
Oh, I don't know about it. You can't be a quiet superstar. You either a superstar or you ain't. So.
I think that's part of the problem trying to market Jason Tatum.
Right. Yeah, there you go. And I see Rev. He ain't no superstar. That ain't no superstar. Tatum is not a superstar. He's a star player. He's a pretty good player. But, man, you're right. I ain't trying to look at Jason Tatum on no commercials. I don't want to hear him talk about nothing. Just play his game speaks for himself. That's it. That's all he got. His game gonna speak for him. Because we ain't trying to hear him talk. And like I say, I don't know about the numbers he bring. I don't think nobody just dying to go see a Jason Tatum game. You know, if you there, if he playing, he playing. If he not, he not.
Yeah, agreed. The VP said there has to be a combination of both of them. Doctor, you have to have the appeal of the masses, both home and away. Your baller on and off the court. There's a reason that the superstar light doesn't shine on everyone. Good.
Yeah.
President Red just described taking an ugly date for. But you know something will happen in the end. Hashtag personality. VP said Perez poo-pooing on the round mound of rebound. Come on, man.
He tried to bounce back.
VP said terrible, just terrible. Marty Stone said we may have to send ice to Thomas Holcomb's house for that comment.
What? You get killed, Mr. President. What they on your butt, bitch?
So the president is backtracking the statement. He said he should have gone with Dan Marley. That's a good pivot. That's a good pivot, Mr. President.
That's right, man.
At least you're not stubborn. We appreciate you not exercising stubbornness on that comment.
Oh, boy.
Sister Harris said it might be time to impeach the president.
Well,
Jerome K said, can we deport the president today?
Oh, man. We got to pick a new president after today, man.
The VP said Charles Barkley transcended the Barcelona Olympics. He was the viable superstar in Spain. That's true.
Well, you ain't lying. Barkley, he was the main one talking during the 92 Olympics. You know, Jordan wasn't saying nothing, and Isaiah wasn't even invited.
Right. Because if truth be told, because Magic wasn't Magic then.
Nah, because he was still quiet and real. He was still quiet because he wasn't sure I'm supposed to go to accept him after the announcement.
Yeah, with the announcement. And then Bird wasn't Bird because he was playing with a bad back. So if it weren't for Barkley, that 92 team would have been real stale.
Right.
Boy, the president, they coming for you. The VP said Lieutenant Sonar is flying a drone over the president's house as we speak. ICE is on the way. Lord have mercy. He's the president, in the words of a president, I just got here. It's the last president sports economy.
Yeah. We ready to do State of the Union.
Go to the fishing hole. They can't find you there. Go to the fishing hole. They'll never find you at that spot.
The VP said we about to have an insurrection with the Revenite Nation. Grab the belly clubs. Ryan Kilo.
Oh my God, man.
You got to make a statement apologizing. You got to make a statement apologizing.
Man, y'all got me crying over here, man. Okay.
Hey, Mr. President, just say you under the affluence of alcohol and try to cover it up.
All right. So
my God.
That was a great pivot right there. We got more conversation out of that than we did the NBA Finals. So,
I thought that's what we were talking about.
With that being said, it's officially halftime of the Red and Red Sports. Yeah, man. On the other end, we got some more basketball talk, a little football talk. If you want to chime in on Shador, stay tuned.
Oh, Lord.
Raise report coming up.
That might be another crazy topic, Real. They should do it.
Grab and Coach on the other side. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Oh, Lord.
And we are back for the second half of the Red and Rev Sports Show. First half was very good. We talked about the NBA Finals and Magic Johnson's statement on a superstar, and we're looking forward to take this show to a higher
Man,
level.
Rev, I did not know that was going to be a hot topic.
Hey, that's why the good book says be ye also ready, because that wasn't even on the radar for today's show.
Right. That was a good one, Rev.
I appreciate that.
And
The
Rev,
VP said Charles Barkley's golf game just entered the chat. What you got to say, Coach? What you got, man?
remember, I had to go back to the old verse: "Too much is given, much is required."
Yeah, there you
That's
go.
what
Yes, sir.
I gotta be.
The president said, that's okay. My defense secretary has my back. Look around, I'm screwed.
Matter of fact, Rev, let's look at the three of us. I mean, all three of us, great hosts, great personalities. We superstars of content creators, I think. The Red and Rev, so me, you, and Coach.
Right. I could go along with that. Alexis Hill said, Red, stop hating on Jason Tatum. He's a superstar, okay? Playing.
Just for that, we gonna put you in the no-star category for that stupid. Ain't no dang on superstar. Jason Tatum, one of the most boring guys out there.
Yeah, if we're talking about using Magic Johnson's definition as our framework, Jason Tatum is not selling out other people's arenas.
Right. If you're going to see the Celtics, you're going to see the Celtics, whether Tatum playing, not anything. To me, Rev, the dude from Atlanta, more of a superstar than Tatum, Jaylen Brown. He got more personality than Tatum.
Yep. The thing that's helping Jason Tatum is the ladies feel like he's a handsome young man.
There you go.
Yeah.
If he had personality, Jason Tatum's stardom would be throughout the roof.
Yeah.
Because the ladies find that man very, very attractive. I was about to say something else, but I'm going to just pause right there. But
don't take it too far.
yeah, I won't take it too far. But when it comes to his commercials, if you look at his commercials, he's probably not saying more than 2 sentences.
No.
With those Ruffled Chips commercials, he may say like 5 words. So Jason Tatum would not fit Magic Johnson's criteria of what a superstar is. As Red is giving the visual, he'll put you to sleep. That's the reality. And Alexis said, I'm saying that because I'm obviously a Celtics fan too. That explains why. Thank you.
Right. We said Celtics fans like him.
Yeah. The VP said Jason Tatum doesn't even like to come see Jason Tatum. They would come to see the little boy before seeking out Jason. Wow.
Oh, man.
Bright Tatum has the beigeness to keep him in the combo, but bruh doesn't mean superstar requirements.
No.
All right,
I don't know why he keep bringing Kobe name up when he be talking about himself. Leave Kobe out of this, Tatum. You put Kobe to sleep.
All right, Red, let's do this thing called the Braves Report. You ready, man?
All right, let's go.
We're getting you ready in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Here we go.
It's game time. It's GT.
All right, Bray, you getting a chop this week. I'm trying to be nice. I'm not gonna look at yesterday and hold that. Well, I'm gonna hold it against you, but I ain't gonna take away the chop. But could have been a real positive week. Had to just handle business yesterday, but here we go again with Snicker and these off the wall decisions to always kill our momentum. God. Boy, Rev and Coach, we were doing nicely, just gliding along. I mean, you had a big series with the Mets. Really had a big series last weekend with the Rockies. What made me mad, you blew Sunday's game because that could have been a sweep. Then you come into this week, Monday's game, you getting beat 4-1. Had the big comeback in the 8th, 9th innings. You win in the extra innings, and you just handle the Mets, take care of business on from there. I mean, beat the brakes out of this team. Just leave them for dead. Ain't worth nothing. Just expose them like we usually do. And what happened? Well, let me get back to the Mets series, give you some positives first. So you come back and you beat the Mets 5-4. Then you come back out again, shut them out. Chris Sale, 5-0. And then Spencer Strider the next day. Where's this doggone been except for the 3 runs you gave or the 1 run you gave up early? But after that, nothing. Braves knock them out 7-1. I mean, just gliding. And here we go last night. Marlins, one of the sorriest teams in the league. Braves want to bring out, but I don't blame them. Yeah, if you want to start the rookie, you start him against a Marlins team. But man, once again, another rookie phenom that just was not ready. I mean, God, man, these guys are not ready. Y'all keep bringing them up here and debuting, and they don't be ready. And you just killing their confidence. So we're going to throw them back down to Gwinnett, you know, with them losing a little confidence now. And like I say, so don't do Owen Wilson, Caminiti, and some of those other pitching prospects. Please make sure they're ready before you bring them up, because I'm tired of y'all debuting our prospect pitchers, and they don't be ready. They get all roughed up after being all pumped up, and we looking silly once again. But anyway, after a hot week, the Braves dropped 1 to the Marlins yesterday, 6-2. The bats, they've been waking up a little bit this week. Austin Riley seemed to be waking up a little bit off of his slump. Matt Olson is still, I think, an 11-game hit streak. Acuna, I think he about 16-game on base streak. So those boys still raking. Acuna, like I say, giving us pretty much our MVP of our offense, man. Because, man, this dude, every game he on base. Every game he getting a couple of hits almost. Ozzie, you went another 0 for last night, but you seem to be turning around. Michael Harris, what did you do last night? Well, you got a hit, man, but your buddy's been slumped in, man. I tell you, Michael, like I say, Rev, he is not his son, and thank God he ain't, because, boy, if it wasn't for your glove and your defense, your buddy probably be back down to Gwinnett right now. So you better, boy, you have got to pick it up, Michael Harris, especially in clutch situations. I mean, you coming up, me and all on base, ready to score, and you doing nothing. I mean, Lord, I mean, just leave it. I bet you lead the Braves with me and left on base for everybody on the team. I bet you do. So, like I said, you got to get your offense together, Michael Harris. But other than that, I mean, we trying to figure this thing out. Excuse me, y'all. But like Rev said earlier, Alex, that entire interview you gave this week was just pathetic, man. Like I say, you talking off both sides of your mouth. You talking like a GM who trying to, sell us something. You want to keep us, keep us calm down, but you ain't doing a good job of keeping us calm down because you're talking out of both sides of your mouth and you sound like you really don't know what you're talking about. Like I say, you fooled us, man. We thought you knew what you were doing, but no. You still got a few question marks. So like I say, I'm not pretty much sold on my GM right now. He's trying to fool us, acting like he doesn't have financial restraints when we all know he does. He's trying to fool us, acting like he doesn't know whether we're going to be buyers or sellers. Like Rev said, dude, just shut your freaking mouth so you won't have to talk out both sides of it. Like you say, we're playing well. We'll figure this out when the time comes. You don't have to answer every question precisely, Alex. Okay? Dude, how long have you been a GM? Learn how to lie a little bit. Learn how to fool the people a little bit. I mean, dog, learn how to talk like a politician sometimes, Alex, is what we're trying to say. But anyway, Braves, we trying to get, like I say, we take care of the Marlins these next 2 games, and hopefully we'll be right back in it. The Mets, Rev, and Coach, I think we've exposed them, so they slumping right now. They lost again in Philly last night, so I think Philly is the next target. If we catch Philly, we'll be right where we want to be. So that's the target right now. Not worried about the Mets. We got 4 games with them next week. Hopefully we can bury them. And I mean bury them next week. And thanks for Snicker. I guess you're trying to fix your rotation so we have our best pitchers going up against the Mets. Well, whatever, dude. It better work out, too. We better win all 4 games, too, if that's what you're doing. So, but anyway, I like what I saw this week with the exception of last night. Come on, Braves. This is the time to get together. Like me and Coach said last week, these 13 games right here, these games right here that we playing right now are the pivotal games of the season. And we got to get most of them. Okay, we started off, we won 3 in a row against the Mets. So right now we 3-1 in our pivotal games because you shouldn't have lost last night. But if you win the next 3 or 4, hopefully I can forget about this loss. But 3-1 out of your first 4 pivotal games, not a bad start.
Yeah. Coach, you got anything to add to what Red had to say? Got to unmute yourself, sir.
Unmute you. Can't hear you, Coach.
You just answered your own question, Red, about what you just said. He did that. That was a move designed to get his rotation ready for the Phillies and the Mets, putting that young boy against the Marlins. Marlins ain't making no waves. So you try him out to see what he can do. He had a little struggle. They didn't score but 2 runs for him. So he gave up some runs, but you do that move so you can get your rotation in order. Now you got what's his name? Strider. You got Schellenbach, you got Sale, all them lined up ready to go against the Mets and the Phillies. So, hey, it was a waste game. You can call it what it was. So they did well sweeping the Mets. And the young boy, like I said, what's that, Ray?
The problem is when you're so many games behind, there's no such thing as a waste game.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, I didn't mean a waste game. I would say
if you sweep the Mets and then get swept by the Marlins, sweeping the Mets doesn't mean anything anymore. So that's where
I didn't mean. Go ahead.
Yeah, that's where it's problematic for me, even with them calling the young boy up, because you're basically saying we're going to sacrifice this one game that you don't have to sacrifice because you're so far behind.
Right. That's what I was thinking.
So that changing one pitcher, I get it. You want to get your best guys against the Mets, but you still need this one game.
We still need all these games.
Right.
Yeah. You still got to win this series.
It's not like you behind 3 games in the standings. You behind 10 plus now.
Right.
So that's why it just didn't make sense to me. And then
not so much. I won't call it a waste game. I just call it he just did that to see if the young man can come in against the worst team. You ain't gonna put him against the Mets or the Phillies.
But they tried that earlier this year. They tried some pitcher against the Marlins. They disrespected the Marlins earlier by throwing some arm out there, and they got tattooed. I mean, the Marlins they're still a Major League Baseball team. Let's not forget that. Those guys get paid on the Major League level, and to put Fuentes or whatever his name Fuentes is up there, I think it's even problematic when you start looking at the minor league system, because you're allowing him to pitch before some of your other prospects that are pitching on AAA. So that could add a whole lot of dissension. I think it was just not smart, because also this kid only gave up 4 runs, granted, but he got tattooed because he only pitched, 5-6 innings? And that's a lot of runs to give up in those few innings. 6. That's
he gave 6 hits, though. 6 hits.
So he gave up 6 hits and 4 runs. That's a lot of runs for only 6 innings.
Right.
So and I think that's where they messed up.
Smart?
But that's how they messed up the Waldrop kid from Florida last year. They
brought
him up too soon, and his confidence got shattered.
Right. And then you got, like I say, I want them to keep doing our prospects like that, the Hackenbergs, the Owen Wilsons, the Caminiti. You throw them out there too early, and then you lose. They come there. Our farm system already dry. Is I don't know what. And the only thing we got is the pitching prospects, and you keep ruining their confidence by throwing them out there early. What are you doing, Braves? Come on. First of all, build up your farm system first. How about that, Alex?
And when I saw the kid pitch last night, I didn't see anything dynamic about him. He didn't have a dynamic fastball. I mean, when Strider came up, Strider's throwing 99, 100 miles per hour. That's
Right.
dynamic stuff.
Yeah.
But this kid Fuentes fastball clock highest at 96.
Oh man.
That's not a major league dynamite fastball.
Right.
You know, like if you're gonna bring a kid up, let him have great stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like that Dwight Gooden stuff.
There you go.
Isn't it a risk though to keep throwing Iglesias out there?
See that? We try to have a real conversation here, Cover. Now to the comments.
Yes, sir.
Brother Dana Johnson Sr. said, somebody give Red a case of tissues. The Braves are not catching Philly. Maurice Noah said, waste game my foot, coach. And the Braves need all the help they can get. Go
Man, the Marlins already been eliminated. What you talking about? They ain't gonna be nowhere. They'll be watching and having 5,000 fans come to the game.
All right. We see that the Prime Minister sticking his chest out with the Marlins victory.
For real. That was one win, Maurice. Let's see what happened today, big dog. And I'm gonna be there. And we blow y'all out today, I'm gonna be sticking my chest out, coming for you.
All right, gentlemen, let's go to this 5 for 5 action. This is the segment where we talk 5 topics, no more than 5 minutes in most situations, where the panelists, Red and Coach, will both have 1 minute to talk about the topic at hand, 45 seconds single screen, then 15 additional seconds second screen, and once they get past that minute, they may get introduced to that mute button. While they're talking, you all can feel free to type in the chat whatever comments that you have about the topic at hand, and then we'll come to your comments after they have made their comments. So with that being said, it is 5 for 5 time. And I'm going to read this comment from Alexis Hill to close out that last segment. Then the VP has given us our directives. Alexis Hill said the Braves are always going to do well against the Mets. No matter what, they just have their number. So maybe it's fool's gold. All right. For 5 for 5, the vice president has spoken. He said, Q. Lunas, the Q is going in 4, 3, 2, 1. And here we go. Our 5 for 5 is officially in Red and Rev Sports Show effect. With that being said, what's the first topic? Y'all been talking about this young man. Shedeur Sanders gets 2 speeding tickets in a month. Big deal or no deal? What says you, Coach?
It'd be a big deal if he was at Athens, Georgia, but he's not at Athens, Georgia. He's with Cleveland. But the only thing I say about it is this: to a normal person, it's not a big deal because everybody has been caught speeding before. But they're going to magnify everything that Shedeur does, and they're going to make it by saying, "Oh, look, he's supposed to be a leader of the team, and he can't follow traffic laws." They're going to magnify it and blow it up, make it bigger than it is. So if I was him, I'd be careful about that. I know he said he's not going to do it anymore. Stop talking about it and just do it. You go pay your tickets. Go do what you got to do to get it off and pay it and get it done with and move on. But Shedeur, you're going to have to be extra careful because they're going to magnify your mistakes, sir.
Brett.
All right, Shedeur. Now look, I know you heard Tom Cruise is making a sequel to Days of Thunder, but that don't mean you get in your car and stop trying to audition for the co-star of the movie, okay? You saw Franklin from Snowfall co-star with Brad Pitt in F9, so you say, let me get in my car. No, just play it. But for real, like Coach is right, dude. I don't think it's that big a deal. Just go pay the tickets and get it over with. But like Coach said, dude, they're going to magnify every little thing. And what you trying to make the team right now, you don't need any, and I mean any distractions, dude. I appreciate you putting on the good face talking about it, man, but you have got to be focused, Shedeur. You got to understand, man, you got haters out here. You got folks cheering for your downfall. You have got to stay focused on making this team and trying to be the starting quarterback, man. So this, to me, it's no big deal. Just pay these fines and move on from it. But like Coach said, you don't need no distractions. Do your best to stay out of trouble, man, and stay focused.
Revenant Nation may be saying, not so fast, Coach Red. The president said, very big deal, especially with all the hoopla around him. The VP said, if I can pull it up, doing 101 in a 60-mile-per-hour zone is straight up diabolical. Bro, he would be in jail if he were a normal person. Do better, bro. Now you're getting the wrong kind of attention. Dante Armstrong said if he wasn't drinking or doing drugs, no big deal, but he has to be smart. Don't give folks a reason to say, I told you he was problematic.
Yeah. Right. That's what I'm saying, Dante.
Oh, Brad. Here we go. Let's get Revenant Nation their time. The VP said, failing to appear in court is crazy work. Bruh, do not forget what hue you are. Keep that head on straight and do your job as a productive citizen in society. I think that's it. Oh, no. Jerome K said, not surprising, not a big deal. Shador's young, and he has the right to grow. Young Buck just needs to practice more life situational awareness. The president said, Red has nothing to do with haters, dumb choices. VP said Baker Mayfield has just entered the chat, flips the finger, then exits the chat. Now, I'm going to add my little 2 cents.
Oh, man.
Because Shador has already been labeled as entitled, it's a very big deal. If you're doing this as the 5th round draft pick who's trying to make a team, that doesn't give the team a lot of excitement that you're going to be able to handle yourself in certain ways if they actually give him the keys to the QB car. So that's where this is very problematic. Yes, all of us have probably not driven the speed limit. Some people have gone to about 100 miles per hour in similar situations. Doesn't make it right. But because of the circumstances, as the president said earlier, this is what makes it a big deal, because when you're behind the 8 ball, you have to be clean. Like Coach knows from a coaching perspective, if you got a certain level of talent that we view you to have, and if you're trying to make a ball club, it could be this thing or that thing that will make the difference if you make the club or not. If you're a superstar, you can get away with this. It's not a big deal. But if you're trying to make a ball club, which Shador is, because a 5th round draft pick, that money ain't too hard to get rid of. You can be up out of there.
Yeah, I guess I stand corrected, y'all. I was trying not to get on the kids so hard because I got, how we were getting on them earlier. But man, I guess maybe I should have been a little tough on them. But I mean, y'all make some good points though.
Hey, Rev, and another thing that I keep forgetting about. Oh, go ahead. Read those first.
The El president that's getting deported, I just call ICE. He can't get deported on this one. He made a fair statement. I know Shador is the guy, Jerome case, but we can't deport him on this count. 5th round pick and 4th on the depth chart. That's it right there. VP said entitlement definitely prevented Young Buck from showing up in court. That's a big dang deal. Could have resulted in jail time. Do better, bro. The microscope lens is on 1,000. Vince, the VP said prayers. Exit the chat with Maurice Thor. Your comments continue to be posted as a reply to him. Jerome K said Vincent Woodruff, he wasn't required to show up for the traffic violation. That's what a lawyer is for. All right, we'll let y'all deal with the politics. Go ahead, Red.
I'm going to tell you where it comes from. Okay.
Go ahead.
What's really bad about this, it came at about the same time when Henry Ruggs was at a function apologizing to the family of the young lady he killed by driving fast. Bad look all the way around. Bad look. And that just shows you driving fast can result. It didn't result this time. Good for him, but the overall look is like it could have been worse. When you were driving fast and somehow you had an accident with somebody. So yeah, bad look.
Yeah, good point. Good point, Coach.
Yep, excellent point. All right, let's go to the next topic. Red, you on deck? This should be really a question mark. I would have phrased it, is Kirk Cousins behind Penix 100%? Red, your thoughts. Go.
Well, he say he is. I mean, he's saying all the right things on camera. I mean, that's pretty much what he is. What he's doing what he should do. But like I say, we'll see if Kirk's mindset can handle it through. But honestly, though, I don't think Kirk that type of guy. Though I think he's a good guy. Look, he just lost starting quarterback job. Kirk know how this business works. You an aging QB, and usually teams go with the young guy. So you had your chance. You didn't do it. Now it's time to just support the young guy and be a backup like all other aging veteran quarterbacks in the league have to do at some point in their career, unless they just superstars. And Kirk, you're not a superstar quarterback, okay? So anyway, I mean, it is what it is. You're a backup now. Maybe we'll see Kirk's real feelings on his Netflix special. You know, he got a Netflix special coming up, part 2 of his quarterback series. So we'll actually see the whole drama of him being benched for Penix this year on Netflix. So we'll see Kirk. We'll see if any feelings are exposed.
Coach.
Rev, if y'all ever watched the show Transformers, the cartoon version, the second in command was of Decepticon was Starscream. And Starscream always plotted to take over from Megatron. I smell this from Kirk Cousins. He's standing behind him right now. But he just waiting until Michael Penix messes up or something. And there he is. I'm ready, Falcon. I'm ready.
All right, we got a couple comments.
Hey, you know what happened to Starscream, don't you, Coach, in the movie?
Yeah.
Dante said, heck no, Cousins not behind Penix. That's why he wants out. He probably will eventually, but he's not right now. The president said, heck, H-E double hockey sticks for 40 games. I'll be behind a cactus butt naked.
Rev almost got you, did he?
Exit stage left like Snagglepuss. Jerome K said Kirk ain't a superstar quarterback, but his bank account is a superstar saying Kirk is just looking for the next check. The president said Coach Penix will come back as Galvatron.
That's the coach right there.
And I'm gonna add, listen, the true feelings of
Here's a hint.
the true feelings of Cousins was already revealed when he didn't show up to camp on time. He was kind of holding out a little bit, and that really showed he's not 100% behind Penix. He was hoping Aaron Rodgers did not sign with the Steelers, because that was his last hope of being traded for and possibly being a starting quarterback. So the reality is, deep down, Kirk Cousins is not happy being behind Michael Penix. He's just saying the right things, because if something happens in training camp with the Falcons or with some other team, he can at least be in good favor with the Falcons, and they'll be happy, they'll be willing to send him somewhere where he can be a starting quarterback and he won't be viewed as a problematic player. So this is all playing the long game rather than the short game. So don't be fooled by Cousins talking about he's 100% behind Penix. The president said, Coach, oh, he said that. Jerome K said, Rev, Super Saiyan is the Dragon Ball Z reference. Rev will get that. I got you. I didn't get it, but Rev, you got it?
Oh no, I don't get it either. Man. I'm not big on that Dragon Z stuff.
Okay. All right. And the president said the Falcons would have got screwed either way, either keeping him or He was dead money. That's a good point.
I watch Transformers cartoons like Coach used to watch. Yeah, I'm big on the G.I. Joe and all those cartoons. Jerome, you going into I don't know what cheap channel network cartoons you watching.
Well, Dragon Ball Z is a big time cartoon.
Was it the anime stuff?
Yeah, it's one of the big.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah. I'm not into the anime, Jerome. Sorry, buddy.
Yeah. All right, man. Let's talk a little basketball. Coach, you on deck. Or did I talk to you, Coach?
Yes, you did.
I asked your opinion about. Yeah, I did. Okay. All right, back to you, Coach. Desmond Bane traded to the Magic for first round picks. Is Durant next to be traded? What'd you say, Coach?
Yeah, Durant is gone. He leaving Phoenix. I mean, the man they need to get rid of got a no trade clause. We ain't gonna call his name Bradley Beal, but Durant is not happy. So in his mind, like I said, he can still demand and still get away from folks. So he's gonna end up with another team. What other team it is? That's gonna be interesting. But I guarantee the haul for him is gonna be very intense. So we'll see what teams are willing to give up.
Red, what you got, man?
Man, I am still shocked how Bradley Beal got a no trade clause. How Kirk Cousins got a no trade clause. Excuse me, I hate to keep bringing this reference up, but no trade clauses are meant for superstars, okay? Not stars, not wannabe stars, not journeymen, okay? How do you think losers got no trade clause? Well, that needs to be the question more so than this question. Why all these losers got no trade clauses? But anyway, Coach is right. Durant definitely is gonna be next. And I probably think of one of these Texas teams, San Antonio or Houston. Houston would be a good fit because they need somebody to put them over the top. And that go-to scoring Durant just might do the trick. San Antonio, go down there and help Wemby and Fox get it together. That'll help them out too. So there's a couple of destinations where he'll fit. Hawks fans, you can forget it. Okay, so please throw that out your mind and please wake up from this dream y'all having because he ain't coming here. Okay.
So, with that being said, let me just add a little extra time to this real quick, and we'll go to the comments. Did you like the trade by the Grizzlies and Magic?
No.
Coach says no. Go with your no. Quick.
You're looking at 6 players potentially for one player. 6 for Desmond Bane. Bane is not, we're going to use our word again. Bane is not a superstar. He's not. He is not worth 6 picks.
Okay.
And what you gave up, Orlando is sitting there. You gave up most of the team in the future. When you were right on the come up, is he going to help Orlando? Oh, yeah. He's going to help them scoring. Why they need another score, but you're giving up a lot in the future. If you don't win now, the future looks kind of dim.
Red, jump in there.
When you see these players going, players like Desmond Bane, Dejounte Murray. Oh, forget it. DJ Murray, the clown, the Hawks guy from San Antonio. When you see players like that getting drafted, and not only them, other players too, getting drafted for all these picks, they let you know that NBA draft picks aren't as valuable as NFL draft picks. Because can you imagine a player like Desmond Bane or a player? Can you imagine an NFL player of Desmond Bane caliber getting traded for 2 or 3 draft picks? You're gonna be like, what in the world? But that GM about to get fired if he do something like that. So obviously NBA draft picks are just like really not worth too much if you just let players like Desmond Bane go for 3 or 4 future draft picks. I mean, because I couldn't imagine a player like Kirk Cousins or Mooney or somebody like that, or some journeyman player in the NFL getting traded for 2 or 3 first round picks. Like I say, that GM will be fired on the street looking for a job if that happens. So, like you say, it seems like the player is the most important thing in these trades, and not the draft picks. These draft picks are really becoming invaluable commodities in the teams. They just use them to throw in deals to make the deal look big time, but in reality, the big move was Bane for KCP. I think wasn't it KCP he was traded for?
Yep.
Yeah. So it was really the players who was
And Cole Anthony.
Cole, exactly. Okay, Cole and Greg Anthony's son. So Cole Anthony and KCP really are the prizes that Memphis is getting back. Because for all we know, they may not use all these draft picks, may not use any of them, may use these draft picks to trade to another team for somebody else. So, like you say, the players in the NBA, players are more commodities than draft picks, whereas in the NFL, you can build a Super Bowl champion out of having the right draft picks. So,
and Ray, you make a great point that draft picks in the NBA are not as valuable. Let's look at this past year's draft. The third pick in the NBA draft spent most of his season in the G League, and that's Reed Shepard. So this is why now, when you get certain trades, a lot of draft picks come with the territory because they don't know if these draft picks are going to materialize to be anything. Just like Mikal Bridges was traded for 6 draft picks.
oh, wow. Yeah, right.
Bridges ain't no major player.
No.
But because draft picks, to Red's point, are so invaluable, that's why they got an add-on, because they're hoping at least one of the 4 will pan out to be something. One of the 6 will be able to pan out something, because back when we were coming up, most draft picks in the first round were either starters or coming off the bench. They were a part of the team's rotation.
Yeah.
That's
You
not
have to be.
in the NBA.
You have to be part of the rotation.
Yeah. I mean, most of the players
Rev,
being
I'm still
drafted
trying to
now,
wrap my head.
most of the players being drafted now are being drafted based on their potential, not what they can do for the team right now. What are you about to say, Coach?
Yeah, because I need you to help me out. You are Red to help me out. How did the NBA draft ever have 6 rounds?
See, I'm trying to get past 2. And then the NBA draft next week.
No, back in the day, it did have 6 rounds.
Wow.
And I guess they just had a lot of folk that they were bringing to camp, just to see if they would get somebody who might be a diamond in the rough. But thankfully, they realized they only need 2 rounds
Yeah.
when you're only carrying 15 players max. But now I would think this: if they have G League affiliates for each team, they may be smart to go to 3 to 4 rounds to kind of fill your G League with players
Yeah.
a part of your system, like the minor, like they do in Major League Baseball.
Right. That's where you need to start going. You need to start building. Yeah. I think the NBA needs to build up their minor league system, because if the draft picks are going to be that important, like baseball, who thinks about draft picks in baseball? But you can build your minor league system up,
Yeah. Facts. Jerome said Durant needs a sports psychologist and step into the leadership role. At some point, dude needs to look at himself as the problem. We killed Bron and Harden for flipping from team to team, chasing a ring. Here's the reality, Jerome. Kevin Durant ain't being nobody's leader no time soon. Let's just keep it real. That's just not in his DNA. That ain't in his DNA. VP said if he hasn't done that by now, he won't. KD is who he is. And the church said amen. Horace Damas has entered. He said, what's up, fellas? Y'all listening now? NBA is involved. We have a game 7. We already gave you your props earlier in the show. Yes, you were Nostradamus. We gave you your credit earlier in the show. Watch the replay. All right. You can't even lead KD to a brush.
You back, Mr. President. You are back. That's what I'm talking about, Mr. President. You back, dog.
He redeemed himself.
Oh boy.
He saved himself from impeachment with that statement. Oh man.
Oh my God, man. I told you, King Nappy, Mr. Nappy, man.
No doubt about
Make
it.
too much money for that hair to be looking like. I told you, just go bald, Kevin Durant. Just cut it off, dude.
Facts.
Him and
All right,
LeBron.
Red, you up, man. LeBron criticizes ring culture. What he's trying to say. Go, Red.
We all know what LeBron is trying to say. Like I said this week, man, if LeBron had more rings than Jordan, this is a Jordan thing right here because he already got Jordan in every other category except rings. And now that he sees he's probably not going to be able to catch Michael Jordan in rings, you could have won a couple of championships for my Lakers, but since you didn't, and now you see where you might not catch him. Even if you win one more championship for my Lakers, that'll be 5. It won't be 6, and it won't be 7, 8, or 9 like you sprouted out when you joining the Heat. Now that he knows that, now he want to say, let's try to change the ring culture. We all know if LeBron had more rings than Jordan, that statement he made last week on that podcast with Steve Nash would not have been said. And he showed when he made this statement while Kobe was alive. So, LeBron, you lucky, man. You getting away with some of these statements because you know the atmosphere to say them in, and you know the person to say them around. So, no, I don't agree with him. The narrative is the same narrative we've had for years in sport. You play for championships, you play to win. Rings are how we judge, how we separate the men from the boys, the stars from the superstars, and the great players from just the very good players.
Coach.
I'm gonna go back to a young man told me online that Draymond Green was better than Charles Barkley because he got more rings. I almost broke my computer. Laughing so hard and knocking it off the dresser. I said, you got to be kidding me. Because he got more rings, he's better than Charles Barkley, who averaged 22 and 11. And Draymond Green averages 8 and 6. But he's better than Charles Barkley because he got more rings. That's enough of that conversation. I'm not even going to go any further with that.
Yeah, Draymond now superstar. He's a role star player, but he plays a role on the championship team. He's not Steph Curry. Steph Curry is the superstar of that team.
Well, I'm a defend LeBron and his statement. And this is why. I think he was actually in his own way giving y'all insight to why he ultimately made the decision that he did to leave Cleveland the first time to go to Miami. It's because of y'all emphasizing ring culture and demeaning me because I didn't have a ring is why I made the move that I made that y'all still wanted to criticize. Because we understand when it comes to rings, it's not just the players on the court that matter. It's the decisions that are made as general managers and owners that matter. If you pay attention to our show, a lot of our conversation about the Braves is not just about Snicker and the players. How many times have we mentioned what AA has or hasn't done?
Yeah.
Same thing when it comes to basketball. LeBron was not fortunate enough to have a Jerry Krause like Jordan had in Chicago. He was not fortunate to have a Jerry West like Kobe had in Los Angeles. So now he brings up the conversation, in my opinion, not saying it, but saying it is because of ring culture, why I had to change course to please y'all ninjas, because y'all would have been telling me for the rest of my career that I'm not one of the greatest because I don't have any ring, but y'all not going to take into account that I had Dollar Tree representatives as GMs when I first played for Cleveland. So
Well,
I believe he was throwing some shade in that direction a little bit.
Okay.
Rev, I'm gonna go. You say he didn't have a Jerry Krause or a Jerry West. Looking at his hair, he needed a Jerry curl.
All right, so I knew Jerome was going to get me on this one. Coach, in that case, President said Robert Horry is the greatest ever. The president said, as much as I try to defend him, what he's whining about, Red is right. He can say that now. He's at the end of his career. Jerome K said, Rev stopped the pretzel twist logic. LeBron called himself the GOAT. Hold on. He can still be considered the GOAT if he doesn't have more rings than Mike, because Mike don't have the most rings. Let's be reminded.
Nope.
If we talk about who has the most rings, then Mike cannot be the GOAT.
No.
So having the most rings can't be the end-all, be-all for GOAT conversation. Let's be reminded of that. Because then, as the VP would say, Bill Russell has just entered the chat. All right? Jerome Cage, Bron is trying to rewrite the narrative of his career at this point. He knows he's not winning another ring in LA, so now it's all about legacy perception control, shaping the story so folks don't label him as a ring chaser as he moves again too late. The script's already written. Bron is always going to be in the top 4 conversation, ranking from 1 to 4 by whosoever. It's the ring culture that caused LeBron to be a ring chaser. Again, the team, remember who LeBron was getting beat by every year in Cleveland. The Boston Celtics turned up the volume when they got Paul Pierce playing with KG and Ray Allen. Meanwhile, y'all criticizing LeBron because he's losing with Eric Snow. What was the big man's name?
Big Z.
Big Z.
Igoskas.
Old Joe Smith. Come on, man.
Booby Gibson.
Criticizing him about. He ain't on Kobe's level because look who he's losing to. But then y'all don't want to put Kobe on the same wavelength when Kobe was losing to Steve Nash and Amari Stoudemire without Pau Gasol or Shaquille O'Neal. Nobody want to bring that up. Nobody want to bring that up.
Real? Stop around.
Bring up how Michael Jordan didn't win a playoff series when he didn't have Scottie Pippen. Nobody want to bring that up.
Well, we got real to remind us, y'all. Lord have mercy.
Y'all want LeBron to win with what was the other point guard's name that made the All-Star team?
Mo Williams. Mo Williams.
Mo Williams, yeah. Y'all want him to win a championship with Mo Williams as Robin. Come on, man. Stop it. That's what y'all want LeBron to do. But Michael Jordan, Pippen, Kobe needed Pau Gasol and Shaq, and Kobe was Robin when he won his first 3 championships. Come on, man, stop the cat. Stop the cat.
Oh boy.
Stop the cat.
Man, why they been trying to make Mo Williams a star, man. That dude was not a star. That was funny, yeah. And I'll blame him, bro. Stop trying to make Mo Williams a star, because he ain't, man.
That's what Cleveland was content with.
Yeah.
This is when LeBron said, I'm putting my own future in my hands. Some of y'all may forget this. Coach, you remember this name, J.J. Hickson?
Yes, sir. Big boy.
Big boy out of Wheeler High School in Metro Atlanta, Marietta.
Yes, sir.
The Cleveland Cavaliers, I'm going to stop the music for a minute. The Cleveland Cavaliers were high on J.J. Hickson. They drafted him. The Phoenix Suns wanted to trade J.J. Hickson to them. Guess who they were going to get in Cleveland? Amari Stoudemire.
Yes,
and
sir.
Because Cleveland thought J.J. Hickson had more upside than Amari Stoudemire, they didn't make that trade. Another blunder that Cleveland made. when LeBron got drafted by the Cleveland Cavaliers, Carlos Boozer was on that roster. Carlos Boozer became an all-star, not with Cleveland, but with Utah. Carlos Boozer was under contract. He was a second-round pick. His agent bamboozled the Cleveland Cavaliers to let him out of his contract, promising that he was going to re-sign with Cleveland to a longer contract, but instead of re-signing with the team that got him out of his contract, he went on and signed with the Utah Jazz. Now, is that incompetence? That's what LeBron was dealing with his first time around in Cleveland, but all y'all folk don't want to bring that kind of stuff up because you all want to make LeBron look bad that he's a ring chaser, but he did not again have Jerry Krause or Jerry West, who would have never made those kind of decisions. You're talking about Jerry West, who had the wherewithal to say, you know what? I'm going to trade Vlade Divac for Kobe Bryant. That's what Jerry West did. That's what Jerry West had more insight to know that a kid coming out of high school was going to be greater than Vlade Divac could be on his best day.
One of the biggest sucker moves of all time.
All time. Of all time. In what basketball world does that make sense? You see this kid that's got all kind of talent, great ability, and all you got to do is give up Vlade Divac. No extra draft picks were attached to that. But y'all want to talk about the front office.
As I close,
made LeBron do what he wound up doing, and that's why he's always say, once he left Cleveland the first time, he made sure that management was doing what they could do to put him in position to win championships, because the first time around in Cleveland, they stained him. And he was going to be stigmatized as a chronic loser if he stayed in Cleveland and allowed these clowns to dictate his future.
I mean, he was gonna make it easy for me to hate Real. He just stayed down there. I mean, I was gonna have a good time on him because I knew he wasn't gonna win with that trash down there. And I kept telling folks, like, look, I mean, y'all keep saying, because he kept winning in the regular season, and I kept saying, okay, now when the playoffs start, this was gonna happen, and it kept happening, and I kept telling folks, like, dude, he needs some help. But yeah, I can't poo-poo what you said, because those two GM moves, that Amari Stoudemire move was crazy, and that Carlos Boozer deal, man, Red, I remember that to this day. Me and my buddy was we was in LA in California. I was in California when that Boozer deal happened. We was sitting in the car listening to this on the radio, and I was like, what? He was like, man, Boozer said, I ain't playing with that Gumby looking fool. I'm going to get paid. That's what my buddy was saying. Because I was like, man, why did he leave LeBron? My buddy was like, man, Boozer was like, fuck LeBron. I'm getting paid. Forget that. I just couldn't believe Cleveland did that dumb move. So, yeah. I mean, I understand the mindset LeBron had, but like you say, he was gonna get criticized no matter what move he made. Whether he stayed in Cleveland or left to go to Miami, he was gonna get criticized.
Red, you missing one player. I don't know why y'all keep skipping over this guy, the controversial Boobie Gibson.
They brought him up in the chat.
Yeah.
Bill Russell just entered the chat. Savannah James just entered the chat. She just told Brian to empty the trash.
Yeah, I mean, that was her. That's her saying for let's get out of Cleveland and go to Miami, LeBron. Let's empty this trash.
BP said with Augustius, Delonte West, Eric Snow, LBJ was a miracle worker for dragging those bums to the NBA Finals. The president said, and folks out here will move to another job for an extra $1. Here's the Boobie Gibson reference. Let's not forget Boobie.
Don't forget.
Here's a LeBron hater, Jerome Case. He's big time LeBron hater. LeBron is trying to reshape the narrative. We all see it. Everyone is chasing championship rings. For the most part, that's actually what's happening, if we're honest. LeBron had Dwayne Wade and Chris Bosh. He made that happen on his own, not because of the GM. Along with Vlade Divac, they got a loaf of bread, a container of milk. And Jerome K said, "Ray, you got to." Jerome, man, the facts are the facts, man. The facts are the facts. I know you're a LeBron hater, but the facts are the facts. All right, we got one.
You gotta have a method to your madness, Jerome, like I do. That's why the LeBron fans respect me as a LeBron hater.
All right, let's just talk freely on this because we clearly went over 5 minutes on this last topic. So this be our last topic for the day before we go to You Have the Right. So let's just talk freely about it. I won't cue the Lunats. Red, we'll start with you, man. Your team. I don't know if it's 1A or 1B in the NBA because you're still a Hawks fan, but I would reckon to say 1A since they're the championship team.
Right, 1A.
Lakers sell the team to Mark Walter for $10 billion, the same owner who now owns the Los Angeles Dodgers. So what were your initial thoughts when that news came down? What do you think the Lakers' future will look like under his ownership?
Well, at first I was kind of shocked. I was going crazy in my cafe at work when I saw that little headline come across. I just happened to be in the cafe and I saw the little breaking news, the little red strip on the ESPN at the bottom. So I knew, breaking news, what's going on? And I saw GD had sold it. I was like, what? What are you doing, girl? I went crazy. I just couldn't believe she sold them. But once I calmed down and realized, okay, $10 billion. All right. I mean, ain't nobody turning down no $10 billion. She's still gonna be governing the team. They didn't share all of their shares. They just sold the majority shares. So they still have some investment in the Lakers. Just they not the majority owners anymore. But the person who is the Dodgers owner. The same financial group that Magic Johnson is a part of that bought the Dodgers. So wow, I went from bewildered and just going crazy, like WTF, to like now I'm feeling kind of good because okay, this ownership group right here, this ownership group is about some business. Of course, any ownership group Magic Johnson is a part of is about business. So we still got Magic as part of the family. We still got Gene and them. They still minority owners. And this guy, Mark Walter, I mean, you talk about deep pockets. Dude, can you go buy my Braves? You got enough money left to go buy my Braves? Because, no, you got the Dodgers, of course not. God, see, this is the Rams. This is the type of guy right here. We need to buy the Braves from Liberty Media or whatever company own the Braves. This is the type of guy we need right here to save the Braves. But like I say, I'm happy that my Lakers are owned by a guy with deep pockets. I know he's a winner. He's going to do everything he can to put a winner on the basketball court, just like he's doing with the Dodgers. So I am feeling good moving forward. My Lakers are still in good hands. We still about championships. We still about superstars. We still about LA, baby. And we got an LA guy running things. So I'm feeling good. Feeling great, as a matter of fact.
All right. The president said, isn't Magic part of the group that bought the Lakers? I believe so.
That's right. Yeah.
Maurice Thor said, even though Jeannie Buss sold the Lakers and her dad's legacy to Mark Walter, they're in good hands. Go look at his track record with the Dodgers and give him a chance. Also, Vincent Woodruff said, the VP said, Magic Johnson's been winning in business for the last 3 decades, now being part owners of the Lake Show Cobra Commanders. And the Dodgers, let the splurging begin. Scurry money don't make money. Coach, your thoughts on the sale?
Well, I mean, if you go by the papers and everything and the history is winning. So Laker fans should expect winning. But, as they have improved from this, other teams have improved too. So they got some different teams to contend with the OKCs and the Dallas Mavericks and the other teams who seem to have tried to make improvements as well. Nobody's sitting on their bottoms not making improvements. So the Lakers are positioned to make some moves if Mark Walton is that magic bean. So we'll see what happens.
All right. So listen to why this is an epic move. One of the biggest things that NBA owners are scrambling to do this summer is to get under the second apron with the luxury tax. There's a luxury tax in Major League Baseball. And we clearly see this owner can care less about the luxury tax in Major League Baseball. For all they did was just kept signing players and loading the Dodgers roster. And in the NBA, because if he bought the team for $10 billion, money's no option. That's clear. So he's probably going to be one of the few owners in the NBA who's going to look at the second apron and say, I could care less. You can put a third, fourth, fifth, or sixth apron, and I'm still going to do what I got to do to put the best team together. So from a financial standpoint,
Preach, Real.
this is a great move because he's going to do whatever it takes to put the best team on the floor so that the Lakers can continue to win championships.
Let me ask this right here. So Real, do I keep your seat in Laker Nation warm even when LeBron retires?
Let's just say I'll be a casual fan. I'll be a casual fan. But it's clear that the Lakers are in prime position and to do real well in the years to come. They already have Luka. If Luka's smart, he'll sign a long-term extension with the Lakers because they're gonna surround him with what he needs. That's clear.
He on board, Real. He already done made his comments.
Yeah.
Now, he ain't stupid now. And you left Dallas. Ain't but one other team for you to play for, Luka. I don't know where you think you're going.
Jerome said Dr. Buss would have climbed out of the grave if his daughter had turned down $10 billion.
Yeah, when I heard 10 billion, she had to take that deal. I'm sorry.
Well, there was a report saying that there was dissension amongst the Buss children because he has two sets of kids.
Mm-hmm.
He has kids from his first wife and second wife, and they said one of the groups was not in favor of the sale.
It was the young boys. They don't know. Shut y'all young bucks up. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Jenny is a businesswoman. This is business. Butt out and get your half. She gonna give you some money.
Well, they said Jeannie was the one who tipped the scale to go ahead and sell. Yeah. The president said, considering that the Buss family bought the Lakers for $67.5 million in 1979, that is a nice return.
Right. You had to take that deal. You had to.
Lord have mercy. All of them, the Buss children could get 67.5 apiece and still have stuff left over.
Right.
Lord have mercy.
Yeah.
Quincy,
That's what you call end of the world wealth. They're going to have wealth until the end of the world comes.
Yeah.
That's crazy. All right, gentlemen, let's go ahead and put a bow on this show so I can get ready to go to my Coatesville barbecue.
Hey, Coach, that barbecue coming through Real's window right now. You can smell it. Like, woo!
Yeah, man. I got to let go of the show so I can get some barbecue at the top of the hour.
Real, you gonna make me go get me a barbecue plate today, man. I'm gonna find me some good barbecue in town.
The VP said, let it rain. That's generational wealth to the nth degree for sure.
Right.
Yes.
All right, who has the right to do what, when, where, and how? Red, what you got?
Well, I mean, we don't talk about so many of my teams. Braves, you got the right to go ahead and beat the Marlins this week and just forget about yesterday's game. We doing good. We were winners of 8 of our last 10. So stop having these letdowns and let's get on this street so we can chase the Phillies down because they prime choke to the Mets and the Phillies are chokers and they can smell us coming. But you got to stop having these letdowns against these sorry teams, okay? So let's sweep a couple of these series. But anyway, take care of business today and tomorrow and we right back on track and we got the Mets next week and handle them and we doing pretty good. Let's go Braves.
Coach, you has the right to do what, when, where, and how. What you got?
Rev, you have the right to windsuit pants to this event. I know you don't usually wear it, but you might need to let it out a little bit and be able to have some room, because I know the aforementioned food ministry is going to bless you abundantly with delicious, well-cooked barbecue. And we hope that you're able to make it to the show next week. It's going to be a little tight, but we're going to, hopefully you can get through and rest and be able to come back and join us next Saturday.
I tell you,
you have the right.
I tell you, real don't got blessed by more food ministries than any minister in this country, boy.
Coach, what's your sports? You have the right. That can't
Okay, I'm sorry. Game 7 participants, Indiana and OKC, you have the right, if you will, to give us an all-time classic tomorrow night at the game. Do a blowout where one team act like they haven't seen a basketball since Naismith. Can we get some good basketball tomorrow night and let us go to a thrilling game 7, regardless of who wins?
Okay. And
I think you're gonna get your wish, Coach.
WNBA, you have the right to officially crown Caitlin Clark as the cash cow, as the best thing going in the WNBA. The ratings showed it while she was hurt. The ratings showed it when she came back last week. So instead of fighting her, embrace her. Love on her. Yes, be competitive. But don't try to hurt your cash cow because you're going to hurt your own finances. Look at golf. Even though they hated Tiger Woods, they wanted Tiger Woods to be in the field.
Right.
Because whenever Tiger Woods was in the field, that meant more money for the championship purse. You don't want to go at Caitlin hurting her because that hurts your ratings and that hurts your bottom line. So be smart. You have the right to recognize the value that Caitlin Clark brings to the WNBA that no other player now or ever in WNBA history has like she has right now. And I'm done. Let's see. We got some You Have the Rights coming from the Revenite Nation. SGA Halliburton, you have the right to leave it all on the court. This is what we call Stuff of Legends. Make game 7-1 to remember. The VP says, Jerome K said, Tyrese Burton, you have the right to redeem light-skinned brothers and American-born players at the same time. This sounds like a shot against SGA right there. The VP says, great show, fellas, Revenant Nation. We did our thing as we usually do. There will be a special meeting of the cabinet to discuss the mental capacity. We will look at ourselves in the convent and let our now y'all doing what the Catholics do. My goodness. That was
oh my God, man. Oh my God. Y'all wild, David.
The president said the only white smoke coming out will be from my smoke as I roast each. Oh man. Revenant Nation, y'all did your thing as always.
Oh man, they got me crying over here, man.
Thank y'all so much for watching episode 382. This is a classic episode. This will definitely be one to remember when the president was roasted for something he had no business saying. But he did come back in the clutch with one of his final takes. With that being said, thank y'all for watching episode 382 of the Red and Red Sports Show. We'll be back, same Facebook page, same YouTube channel, same time next Saturday with Red and Red, as well as Coach. Let's see, what is the VP said the other white smoke is coming from Red's crib. Bill did his job.
I knew it. I knew y'all gonna bring me into it. I just waited.
And then the president, I just said 3 hell chickens.
Hell chickens.
All right, everybody. Much love to y'all. You enjoy your sports week and week, and we'll see y'all next week. Peace and love.
Oh,
We're out of here.
Lord.